Well, anyways, I made a video last night of where this was at last night, and I didn't post it because the other 2 videos or 3 videos I was trying to post last night kept getting super nerfed, and their progress kept getting rolled back like tens of percent. Like at one point, one video was like almost 100% loaded, and then it just rolled back like 40% progress in like the blink of an eye. It went all the way back down. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna upload this other video. But anyways, I haven't been getting a whole lot done today, if I'm just being straight up. I don't know if I mentioned this in one of the videos or not. It was going to be in my video last night, but I decided that this wash off stuff from when the flood came through and my road was just gravel, I'm just going to flatten it out. I mean, I almost regret taking some of this off, but I'm just going to flatten this out, and this is going to be a parking pad right next here because I'm going to be putting up a orchard over there, so that might be able to help me move some stuff out of here. Also, if I decide to offer campsites on my property in the future, somebody will be able to park their car there off of the shoulder. So let's see here. This is actually the clearest that this part down here has been, even though the willows had overgrown quite a bit. Now, as far as my property line goes, right next to that white stake, there's a metal stake with a little bit of an orange top on it. That's the survey stake for the edge of my property. Now, in my area, people do have the right of passage across your property to access the creek. Okay, so this here is a survey stake, and on this side of the creek, there's just a tiny little sliver on this front part that belongs to my neighbor, but I am actually allowed to access the creek from there instead of having to go back on the area where there's that steeper hill that I dug down into the creek. The access here is just a little bit easier. Now, this creek does bend that way, and so my neighbor does have a sliver further back as well. But yeah, I'm going to actually get my loppers out to get rid of this autumn olive because, again, it is an invasive. Now, this is like some sort of false rose plant. I'm not sure exactly what it is, or like a wild rose. So these seem to be like tiny mini little rose hips. I'm thinking about trying to figure out what this plant is. It does smell pretty fragrant when it's in bloom, but I'm just wondering how medicinal these might be. I might harvest some of them for tea, just to add to tea or something like that. I do maybe want to do some more clearing over through here. This evergreen down here, I relocated. I just transplanted from a different part of this hill. So it's growing reasonably slowly. It's grown pretty slow. But I could not drive that post in all the way because it's got so many rocks down in there. But yeah, I'm going to keep some of this stuff. There's a bird nest in there, so I didn't whack those down, although I don't think it's being used right now. This piece of trash back there. There seems to be one recurring person who has been throwing Mountain Dew bottles over here. It's a little bit upsetting, but it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to be putting that orchard that I talked into down in this area at some point. I don't know when I'm going to actually be getting started with that, because the peaches that I'm going to do by the road of the shorter, like 12 to 15 foot peach tree are going to go in right on the edge of this hill to give them just a little bit of space, because the shoulder is not very wide here, so I don't want the trees growing out to the shoulder. So I'm just going to plant them in the hillside there. It's going to be like just basically like a row of peach trees here, okay, up until I get closer to the creek. And then this area here, let's see. So there's actually a bridge under here that the neighbor had put in to get his ATV across here and like his lawnmower, because he was mowing all these pathways in my property, pretending like it was his. Because again, the pig fencing posts are over here, okay? Now, he is a retired forester. He knows how to read a plat map, and he knows that this property goes all the way to the creek if he's not just being psycho. But anyways, the stakes that I put down, I'm probably going to put lights all the way down to my property line just to troll the chainsaw revving psycho next door. I mean, can you imagine actually going onto somebody else's property and just revving your chainsaw at them? on their property trying to pretend like it's yours. I guess psycho guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the lights all the way down to there. I don't know if I'm gonna do just a light string of Christmas lights or what kind of lights I'm gonna get yet. The thing about the Christmas lights is they're not dimmable. So I may just get the similar kind that I have now that are actually, I'm pretty sure they're dimmable. I might order my dimmer switch first just to make sure that that kind is dimmable before I order more of those lights. And I should be able to plug numerous strings together and just run the lights down. Now, as for here, my other roll of the 50-foot, I only got this far. And I'm just going to do these step-in stakes here so that I'll actually be able to just pull these out and roll them back if I do decide that I just want to run the mower straight through this area. Okay, and then there's like overlap, and then the next fence will start there. And I'm going to look for a roll of like a thick plastic, high visibility orange deer fencing type stuff, because otherwise the deer will just destroy whatever fencing I put in here, because they'll end up tripping on it, trampling over it, all these things, because they're not going to be able to see it because they have their pathways and they're creatures of habit. So, that's another thing that these white stakes are going to help with this deer traversed area, help them say like, okay, I need to keep my eyes open over here. So I'm probably just going to run this along through the trees, along the old pig fencing that used to be up here. So I'm thinking what I might do is, I actually need to sharpen my brush cutter blade or get a new one, or I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to probably go ahead and clear this all the way back into here. I'm not sure, like this is like a resprouting ash and stuff like that. This tree is going to just be dying repeatedly from the emerald ash borer. So I might leave it and just keep cutting it for poles over the years, because it's going to keep resprouting anyways, unless I like plug a bunch of Epsom salt into the trunk or something, because I don't have a stump grinder. I don't know. I'll have to decide, but I might extend my orchard like so that the canopy actually goes, all the way over through here. This, I believe, that might be like an oak willow over here. I'm not sure what this one is. I think it might be an oak willow. So it's a different type of willow. I've got numerous different types of willows over here. But yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Now, it would all be looking much more refined if I had my lawnmower going. Okay. So I feel pretty good about just getting this area cleared a little bit more. I feel good about being able to see my posts all the way down my property line. It's the first time I've ever done this. I wish I would have done it a long time ago, honestly. A lot of people, the other thing is even though I'd rather people not be parking on my property when I put the pad up there, what does happen is people end up parking on the street here. So, they probably won't go all the way down there, but some people end up just parking on the bridge and they get out and they check the creek and stuff like that, see where the water level is at, that sort of thing. It's just something that some people around this area just grew up doing, just always stopping to check and see how the creek is. So, I don't know, no big turtles down there that I can see right now. It has really overgrown quite a lot since the development that had sort of happened with the creek getting dug out. But I'm just kind of rambling now. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to get my walnuts in this year or what I'm going to prioritize. Got a truck coming, so I'm just going to hop over the guardrail here. Wow. But yeah. My geese basically never want to come down to the little watering hole down the hill. Like, they never get that far. because I'll start kind of scooching them a little bit and then they'll end up at like a really succulent patch of dandelion leaves and they're just too distracted nibbling at those to actually be bothered to go down the hill. So we'll see how it goes. I got to go through and rake that area and figure out where I'm going to put the brush from that area that is over there, and actually take the brush cutter through there again to cut it a little bit shorter if I want it to be like forage ready in a not terribly long amount of time from now. But yeah, that's just what's going on, you guys. I'm exhausted. I had this really good citrusy pine ale from a brewery in the UP that I got at Jay's Market last night. Just one, but it did me pretty well because I'm such a lightweight. But for when my family comes into town, I also got this blood orange honey beer from a craft brewery, Sheboygan Brewery, I think it is that one's from. And then I also got this blueberry cream ale. And I'm just, I don't know, I may have to go back and get more because I don't drink beer that often, but the ones from Sheboygan are only 4-packs, and I'm kind of curious to try them. So we'll see how it goes. I got a debate on this. Yeah, some dead branches. I gotta really prune this up pretty good. I gotta check and see how much the pole saw attachment for my Ryobi brush cutter, string trimmer, thingamabobber, expand it thing, how much that costs, because that would be super handy for something like this. I don't like having to use my chainsaw because I have a little bit of a bigger chainsaw. It's an MS250. I don't like having to be on a ladder with my chainsaw. I really prefer not to do that. So I may check into that as far as tools to add. Maybe I should even look on eBay. I don't know, guys. But yeah, take it easy, y'all.